Hi guys, welcome back. So for this video I've been asked to do some freehand banners. I've got a couple of miniatures that I've done freehand banners on before. A couple of my little steeds over here. And this is one that I'm going to have a go at replicating. Just a very quick freehand banner just to, again, look nice from across a table. And this one was meant to be a little Slaneshi palace. So we're going to have a go at this one today. And there's another one that I've done. Just a little nighttime banner with some trees in the foreground going into black. I think I can do this one better. We're going to have attempted this one again at some point, but not for today. So, first off, we have a spare banner. Just primed the front of it because it's just a test piece. So, first off, I'm going to get some Warlock purple. I've already got it on my palette. I'm just going to block out the top of this where I'm going to have the sky. That is going to take a couple of coats by the look of it. So above here I'm going to do Warlock purple, and I'll be back when that's done. Okay guys, so we've got the bottom of the banner, well, nearly dry. So while the top is dry, what we're going to do is we're going to get some nice purple of your choice. Load our brush up. And we're going to do our mountain range. So we want to overlap both of the colours because these mountains are going to be nearer towards us than the sky, so they can definitely overlap that. So if we just start, let's go there. Will be neatened up later. Just rough outlines of mountains, just so we get an idea where they're going to go. Okay, now, light shine on that bit. Okay, so I've got a rough outline, so we can always correct in a sec. So we'll just block these in. Widen that last one up there. Right, and then you don't need a smooth line. I want a bit of a smoother line than that. So just neaten it up there. See, I can't have that wispiness. There we go. So there we have our little mountain range. Right. Okay, so if we get the previous banner, we hold it up. It's fairly similar. I think we can do with just neatening up a couple of them. Like that one. That one. Okay. So, next thing to do is to highlight those mountains up. So, what we can take is if we take a little bit of Stonewall Grey, like that on our palette. Any grey will do, or white, whatever takes your fancy. And you're just going to mix some of the same purple in with some of that grey. You've got a pre-mixed colour, it'll be just as good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to choose what side of the banner we want our light source to be coming from. So I'm going to choose roughly here for the light source. So everything on the right hand side is going to get highlighted. So if I just go now, I can already tell that I think my purple, yeah, definitely it's going to have to be a bit brighter. Well, so a bit more grey, so let's mix some more grey in there. Okay, so supposed to be little lines, it doesn't need to be big smooth. We're just doing the right hand sides of these mountains. And if it breaks up while it's going on, that's fine. Because maybe we want a little peak here as well. There you go. Okay, see? All just joins up and then paint. Just stick that there. So you're going to want some here. It's not highlighting the top, it's highlighting this mountain that's off script, as it were. Okay, so as you can see, we have a nice little mountain range. Quick and simple. Okay, now if we take a look at our already done banner, let's have a look what's next. So we have the moon, we have some clouds. So I think we're going to do the moon next, or sun, or whatever it's meant to be. A couple of white circles. Now that should not be difficult at all. Just need a bit of dead white on the palette. The way I would recommend doing this is just load your brush up. I personally would put a single white dot somewhere. Just go in little circles. Just take your time. Look away. Does it look like a circle? Yes, if so, brilliant. If not, just correct it. Right, we'll do another little one here. Need more white. I'm thinking that needs a little correcting. Okay, we'll leave that. Now, how to do the clouds. So the way I would do the clouds is I would get a dry brush, or get a brush that you're going to dry brush with, and then just lightly, let's test my hand, and just lightly dab on the brush, stipple it on. Then, while it's still wet, get as much of that paint off as you can, and then just brush it out. Brush it out, brush it out, smudge it out, go in circles. Blend that paint out, feather it out, that'll do. So that from a distance will look like some clouds. Jobs are good. Right. Right guys, so as we can see we've got the black done. I decided to extend it just a little so it goes off because I'm thinking that's going to attach to a bit of land around here. So now we're going to do the tower. So we'll load up some black, decide where we're going to do the main building. I think it's going to come around here, so the main column to me is going to go here. Now I wouldn't do two lines, I would do one line. You want it to be pretty straight. You are going to go completely over that line you got. Now, I don't think that's particularly straight, so what we'll do is we just do fill this side out. Okay. We have a tower. Our tower's going to need a roof. So I think the roof will go there. Take it off, how does it look? I think it looks pretty towerish. That's cool. So just get your black. Make sure that's all blocked in. Now we're going to want another tower. So I'm thinking we're going to have one. I think we'll have a little one coming off of that. Will we? Yeah, go on, why not? So now you're gonna have to make sure you've got enough room that you can just do a little roof on it. Yeah, that looks good. So we'll just fill that in. Yeah, that looks good. Right. I think we're going to want a building down at the side. I'm thinking of a bit of a building there. I know it's covering up our lovely little mountain range, but needs must. I think we'll extend that island a little. All the decisions we can make. It turns out that's going to be a steeple for that. That's fine. Okay, on this side, I think we'll block this in. Just there. And I think that calls for another little tower. Okay. Spread it off a little. Draw our little roof. Block it in. There we go. I think a three-pointed tower. I think that'll be fine. And gets across what we want to do. Okay, so I'm going to block that in a little more, just make sure that's a solid coat of black, and then I'll be back in a bit, guys, when that's dry. Alright guys, so our black is nearly dry. We'll just leave these little areas just for the moment, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our light grey. I'm going to use stone wall because it's on the palette. I'm just going to start making some little ridge lines again. It's a little thin, just need to wick some of that off. It's very watered down. Just wick some more. Right. So again, we're only lighting from this direction. because the castle is going to block out a lot of it. So we're not going to do any detail on the front of the castle now. How are we going to define this? Same rules. We're only going to highlight the one side. Go. There. Maybe there's a little wall there. There we go. So we have a little banner. So what we need to do now is we need to continue doing the banner work down here, exactly the same as we did before. We'll leave that off and we'll leave that to your imagination. You guys can just do what you want. And just remember, like Bob Ross says, it's all about happy little accidents. It still looks a little flat around the sea. So what we need to do now is we need to get a thin little brush, very thin brush. And we're going to take some of our Stonewall Grey and I would turn it sort of this. And what we're going to do is just do little tiny lines, shimmers, and this will be the light from this moon catching on the waves. So if I just go maybe a little more. Is that light enough? Ooh. I just need to add a little white into that. There we go. So just add a little white into there, just as you need to. Right, and then that's tiny little lights. Now, when you get to a larger area, what you're going to want to do is have two shimmers through two moons. Or just keep going as you see fit. Just turn that banner over. Load up some more paint. There we go. So we could continue that all the way down, but that is the basics of how I do a banner. So just to recap, just prime the miniature however you want. I then would do the background colour for the sky, which in our case is Warlord Purple. I would then do the whatever colour you're doing the sea, because those are two background colours. And then I would do the mountain range next, highlight the mountain range up, You do your clouds, you can do your moons, suns, whatever they are. And then decide where your little island's going to go. And then black it all in. Draw your little building, your little fort. I'll then get a lighter colour of grey. And then just start highlighting it up. Doing your little mountain ridges just the same as you did on your mountains. And then highlight your buildings. You want straight lines, and you only ever want to do your highlights on the mountains and the rocks and the buildings on the same side that you do your moons. And then if you were to continue that all the way down, you would get something very similar to this. Just spend a bit of time. You should be good. Those are tiny little birds. I suppose we can have a go doing those. Just get a thin amount of black. And then just do little M's. There we go. That is how I'd approach a freehand banner, and then from quite a distance away, looks alright. Well, cheers guys. If you like that, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It's very helpful. And if you've got any suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Till next time guys, see ya.